we're going to be talking about the best parts about being retired and just the whole retirement lifestyle and what to expect and what it's all about. So let's get started right now. So I've been retired probably a little over 4 years now, and I do a bunch of different things to keep busy, but I am essentially retired and I don't punch into a clock, and I haven't punched into a clock for a long period of time. It took a little bit of getting used to, which is kind of odd because everyone thinks you just retire and it's awesome, which it is. But anytime you're having a huge drastic change in your life, I don't know. For me, it takes a little bit of getting used to. Maybe some people it doesn't take much to get used to, but for me, it kind of did. But don't get me wrong. I would never work a job ever again. I absolutely love being retired. I love the ability to do what I want, when I want, with who I want, and freedom. It's all about freedom. And it's great. It's awesome, and I love every minute of it. Probably the best part about being retired is you don't have to tell anybody what you're doing, unless it's your wife. But besides that, you do what you want. There's no bosses. You don't have some guy knocking on your office door telling you, hey, did you get that report done? Or did you make that sales call? Or how are the financials this month? Depending on the job you have, right? Obviously. So no one's breathing down your neck to perform, and that's super important for me anyways. And the thing is, I don't really like anyone telling me what to do. So having a boss all those years really sucked. I couldn't wait to get away from that environment. It drove me insane. And just the way, they look down on you. And I don't really like dealing with people, especially in a work environment. I'd rather work for myself, which I ended up doing eventually. You're not going to miss people. You're not going to miss anybody when you retire, especially if they're a bunch of a-holes. If your work environment is full of people who cause a lot of drama in your life, you're not going to miss them at all. So that's one super benefit to retiring. Huge benefit. All the stress that's relieved from retiring and not having to deal with those people. Especially like if you like them, obviously there's no problem. But if you don't like them, seeing those people every single day, Monday to Friday, like you almost see your coworkers and your boss more than your regular friends and family. So that's just insane. And that's the truth. 40 hours a week minimum, right? And if you're working overtime, well, guess what? You get to see them even more. And eventually you'll have a boiling point, and retiring early, retiring at all is going to bring down your stress level a lot. Trust me on that. Another thing I really didn't like, and like anybody, is the traffic, the commute every day. People don't take that into consideration, the to and from work, and you're not even getting paid for that. You actually have to pay. You got to buy a vehicle, you got to buy the gas, and you got to spend your time to go to work to make money. So meanwhile, you're spending money to go to work to make money. It's crazy. And depending on where you live in Vancouver, the traffic is getting worse and worse because you have so many people moving here that it's wild. Like what used to take me 10 minutes now takes me 20 minutes. And really, I just don't want to leave my house during certain parts of the day because the traffic and congestion around town is insane. So once you don't have to deal with commuter traffic, you don't have to deal with going through the subways and the buses and all that stuff. For me, my life is so much better, so much less stress, and so much more time. Like depending on where you live, it can easily take you anywhere from 10 minutes to over an hour to and from. Some people it's 2 hours. So just think about that. You're not even getting paid to drive to work, and why would you? But you're spending another hour every day, a lot of people, or 2 hours. So that's another 5 hours a week. That's another 20 hours a month that you're not getting paid for. That's almost 3 days in a month that you're driving that you don't get paid for, that you're just sitting there wasting gas, not hanging out with your friends, not hanging out with your family and your kids. It's insane. Another reason why retiring is awesome. And this isn't for everybody, but when you retire, obviously you have more time to do anything and everything. And what I did was I ended up focusing more on my health. I started going for walks during the day because retired, I don't have to punch a card and, work for the man. It's over. I can go to the gym when I want. I do that as well. So I can focus more on my health, and I do that. I'm not saying I don't have little binge eatings and I get my, salt and vinegar chips or Doritos chips and do that kind of stuff. Obviously I do, but I got way more free time, and I use it to better myself physically and mentally, because when you're going for long walks and you're going to the gym, it doesn't also help your body, it also helps your mind. It reduces stress. So if you're retired, start doing that. You're going to feel a lot better. And hobbies. When you were working, when would you enjoy your hobbies? You do it at nighttime, you do it on the weekends. Well, guess what? Freedom. It's the ability to eat a dried chicken breast from last night's dinner when you want. That's freedom to me. Now you got an extra 40 hours a week minimum to enjoy on any hobby you want. One of my hobbies is actually making YouTube videos. Another one of my hobbies, like I said, is going to the gym and walking and just going outside, cycling. I get to do that any time of the day I want. As long as it's not raining in Vancouver, I can enjoy it. I can go in the rain, but I don't really like it. So, you know, you can enjoy your life so much better, and you can do what you want when you want. And indulging in all those hobbies, fishing, traveling, even if it's just going for coffee, whatever it is, you can just do it at the drop of a hat, because guess what? You got all this free time. And I don't know, I would never go back to work ever again. No way. And obviously it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyways, you don't have a set schedule. You can kind of wake up when you want, you can go to bed when you want. Personally, for me, I do like to have a routine. That's just how I am. I like to have, you know, my set days. I got Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I go to the gym. Tuesday, Thursday, I'll go for walks, and sometimes I'll go for walks on gym days as well. Doesn't matter. And you know, I'll make these videos on certain days, usually Tuesday, Thursday. I'll film them, and then other days I might be editing them. But I have way more time so I can indulge because I have no set schedule. The schedule is what I make. I don't have to go to bed at a certain time. Just think about when you were working, or if you're still working, you got to get to a bed at a certain time. Why? Because if you don't, you're going to feel groggy, you're going to feel tired, you're not going to be able to perform at work, your boss is going to get mad at you, and it's not going to be very enjoyable when you're yawning all day long. For me, I like my sleep. I like to go to bed at a certain time. Even though I'm retired, I still like to go to bed at a certain time, and now I wake up even earlier than I used to when I was working. Now I wake up at about 5:15 is when my alarm clock is set. Sometimes I'll hit the snooze and I'll wake up at about 6, but for the most part, I'm up between 5:30 and 6:30 on pretty much 7 days a week, because I don't have to go to work, so I don't even have that thought in my head. Like, do you remember when you were working, you would dread going to work, so you wouldn't even want to get out of bed. The funny thing is, when you retire, you have all this free time, so you can't wait to get out of bed. So there's a huge difference. That's what's happened to me psychologically. Since I don't have to deal with all the stuff I didn't want to deal with, I'm more happy, so I'm happier to get out of bed, because I know anything I'm going to be doing, I'm going to enjoy. I didn't really enjoy having a boss. I didn't really enjoy going to work and dealing with certain people in that environment. I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't see you there. What are you doing here? Oh, I was taking a nap because I'm retired and I can do what I want when I want. Another thing that I like to do is I like to travel. And now I can basically travel whenever I want, and I can do it any time of the year. You know, I do have kids. My son is still in high school, my daughter's in university, but definitely more flexible because I'm not working, and you know, it's easier to plan things since the leader of the household doesn't have to worry about when he has to take his vacation. I don't have to worry about asking my boss if I can take an extra day off. I don't have to worry about booking my vacation. The only person I ask is my wife and my kids if they want to go to a certain destination and what time of the year they want to go and stuff like that. So there's no more begging the boss, oh please boss, can I take 2 weeks off? I want to go to Disneyland, or I want to go to Las Vegas, or I want to go to Mexico. It's all done. I don't have to worry about it, and it's awesome. Like, begging, that was one of the things that really just kind of bugged me, is that I had to go into the boss's office and beg him or ask him. I felt like I was begging, ask him for time off, and sometimes I couldn't go because they're, oh, you know, we have too much work, you can't take that time off then, or you know, so and so has got the day off or got the week off or whatever, so you'll have to book it another time. So just, there's no freedom when you're working for somebody else. There really isn't. There's just no freedom at all. And of course, you can slow down. You can kind of do things at your own pace. That's what I do. You know, I don't feel like I have to get things done right now. I can always wait till tomorrow. I'm sure my wife doesn't like that part about me, but if I want to cut the front lawn today and I'll do the front lawn later, it's no big deal. Or you know, there's no stress because I have so much free time. I can get a lot more things done, but in all honesty, I don't get as many things done as I should be around the house, because I'd rather just enjoy my hobby, cycling, making these videos, going to the gym, walking. Today I went to the mall during work hours when everyone else is working and all my friends are working. I'm just sitting there enjoying my life at 54 years old. 53, turning 54 pretty soon. So it's awesome. And really the best part about retirement is, of course, freedom. You have the freedom to do exactly what you want any time of the day or night. You don't have to think about, I got to get up early. You don't have to think about anything. The stress is gone. The only stress you're going to have is the stress you put on yourself, because really most of our stress comes from work life and then family life. And if your family life is fine, the only stress you would have is work life, but when you retire and you're living your best life, you have no stress because your mind is free, your body's free, you can do what you want, and it just brings the stress level right down. Let me tell you, once you get out of that rat race, you just have more time to be you, to be yourself, and to actually, like, just think about when you're working. You're nothing more than a slave, in all honesty. If you're working 40 plus hours per week for a paycheck and you're paying a mortgage and you have a car payment, you're not really free. You're a debt slave. You're financially, you got shackles. They're invisible, but you got shackles of money that have tied your wrists. You cannot quit working. You cannot retire because you have debts to pay. You've got a mortgage to pay, right? Car payments to pay. Maybe you have to pay for your kids' schooling and so forth. All of these things are a form of slavery, in my opinion, because you can't just quit. Even if you wanted to quit your job, you can't. You have to find a way to make money because of the way everything is set up in this world. So in my opinion, the quicker you can get out of working for somebody else, do it. Work for yourself and eventually retire early if you can, because that life is not meant to be about working. Especially, you think about it, 40 plus hours per week. During the best years of your life, you have to work, and the time you get to enjoy it is when you're old and gray, right? Gray. You get to enjoy your life when you got gray hair, and a lot of us have no hair, and a lot of people are overweight and they have health issues. So it's just like, really, I don't know. The 20th century, the 21st century is, yeah, technologically we're much better off, but financially, especially the last few years with inflation, everything is skyrocketed. It's harder for people to make ends meet, and yeah, I don't know, it's insane. But anyways, I just wanted to do this video and explain what are the best parts about retirement for me, and probably what will be the best parts about retirement for you. What do you think? Do you have any input? Leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Let's get a dialogue started, guys. Have a great day. I didn't see you there. What are you doing here? Oh, I was taking a nap because I'm retired and I can do what I want when I want. Thanks for watching Positive Groove. I appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and share this video everywhere.